I never had any problems with school. Until I did. Growing up, my version of grounding was when my parents took my library card for a week and made me talk to other kids at recess. I literally took dance lessons for 9 years because the dance studio was right beside the library, and it gave me an excuse to go there. This probably explains why I still can't dance. Anyways, I didn't even know what an A- looked like until I got sick. My name is Leanne Simpson. I'm a student registered with Accessibility Services, and this is Spilt Milk. When my first year professor told me that I needed to sign up for accessibility, I felt like I was taking advantage of people who needed it more than me. I didn't think mental illness was on the same level as some of the other stuff people were going through. I kept thinking of academic support as something that was a weakness of mine and not something that would help me adjust to my new diagnosis. I was like, why do I need extra time? I have straight 90s. The thing is, if you have a panic attack and your exam is only 2 hours, I recover in about an hour. I've lost half my time, and there's just nothing I can do about it. So I listened to my prof. I went to accessibility, and I storm-proofed my academics. I taped up the windows, duct taped the doors, and I waited for the storm to come. It didn't at first, but when it did, the preparations I had made all the difference. As I continued through my undergraduate degree, I kept giving myself more and more leeway because things were hard. After writing an exam completely drugged up from my night medication, I adjusted my exam times to start after 2 p.m. I used extensions because deadlines are great, but when you have bipolar disorder, it doesn't care about deadlines, and you can't predict what's going to happen. But the first time I really leaned heavily on academic support was in 2013, where I was hospitalized and I dropped 9 out of 10 classes. But I kept the 10th. And that became a problem. When I got out of the hospital, I had no faith left in the medical system. I went off my meds because I didn't have anything to lose at that point. I went back to school completely manic and asked them if I could redo the one course that I had left. And they let me do it. But the thing is, I couldn't sustain that kind of energy, and the day it was due, I found myself on a highway overpass, ready to end it because of a deadline. Students, if you're listening, there is no deadline that you should value more than your life, or your health, or your happiness. Anyways, after not jumping off a bridge but still failing school, my mark was a big fat 38. I went to my accessibility counselor. She asked me if I would be willing to petition. That's the shitty thing. You have to document it. You have to prove that you're sick. And it doesn't feel good. The petition succeeded. I wrote my last 2 stories, and my 38 became an 83. This video is happening because I happened to see a post on a Facebook page called U of T Confessions. The post was from someone who had struggled with mental illness and been hospitalized in their first year and came out with a GPA of 0.33. So what I did is I told them this story. I was afraid of being yelled at by the internet, but instead I got 268 positive responses. There was one guy who was like, oh, my fish died. I'm going through a hard time. Can I have accessibility options? But, there's always one dead fish guy in every conversation. The more important number was that about 20 people reached out to me through my Facebook account and asked how they could get accommodations for their mental health issues. 3 of them have now registered with accessibility, and I'm hoping for more. Here are some tips for getting help. Sign up for student note-taking. This may seem like you're making someone else your notes bitch, but you're not. If you happen to miss classes here and there for mental health related reasons, you are covered and you don't have that catch-up pressure that you would normally have. Be upfront with your profs. And I'm not saying that you have to tell them your diagnosis, but the more they know about your situation, the more they can help you. Be realistic about planning your classes. I can't wake up before noon on most days. One time, I took 2 back-to-back 9 a.m. classes in a semester. I went twice. And I wish that was twice each, but it was twice total. Please do not pull all-nighters. I am a hypocrite. I pulled like 4 all-nighters this month, and I am a complete disaster as a result. Meds don't just depend on taking your meds. It also interacts with everything else you're doing, so your eating habits, your exercise, your sleep, and your monster intake. Reward yourself. One time I put a gummy bear between each page of a statistics textbook, and then I ate all of the gummy bears. and read some statistics. So if you're a student, or you have been a student, and you've experienced some of these issues or found help, I want you to shoot me an email. I want you to tell me your story because I'm looking for stories from students across Canada to put in our new SickNotWeak in Schools program. Guess my email will be at the bottom of the screen. Or at the top. My name is Leanne Simpson. I will never be able to dance. And this is Spilt Milk. Wait, can I dance? I went on a huge tangent here. Where am I? I'm just gonna keep saying words. No, meow, 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 meow. And if you're even meow, 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 meow. I have to stop meowing when I mess up. It's like a really weird thing to do.
An entire reel of all your weird things.
Meow, meow. Okay.